Be me. Cole, 30. Risk Management Manager at Aegis Insurance Group. My job is to assess probabilities, calculate exposure, and minimize potential losses. I apply this to everything: my finances, my career, my personal life. My colleagues call me the actuary of doom. They mean it as a compliment. I think my ex-fiancée, Miranda, left me 2 years ago. She was sleeping with my cousin, Derek. I found out at a family barbecue when Derek's phone accidentally connected to the Bluetooth speaker and played a voice message from Miranda that was not intended for public consumption. My grandmother fainted. My mother cried. My uncle tried to fight Derek in the backyard. It was, statistically speaking, the worst family gathering in our history. Since then, I've concluded that romantic relationships carry an unacceptable risk-to-reward ratio. The probability of emotional devastation exceeds the potential for long-term satisfaction. I've done the math. The math is not good, so I've sworn off serious relationships. No commitments. No attachments. No, where is this conversation going? Just work. Sleep. And the occasional social obligation. My best friend is Ren. We met in college. She was the chaotic art major who accidentally set fire to her own project. I was the business major who had a fire extinguisher. We've been inseparable ever since. She's creative, spontaneous, and has absolutely no understanding of risk management. She once invested her entire savings in a food truck that sold only grilled cheese. It failed within 6 months. The math was clear. Ren, the market was oversaturated, but the cheese was artisanal. Cole, artisanal. She's been through a string of terrible relationships. The last one was a musician named River who didn't believe in money. He paid for everything with good vibes. The good vibes did not cover rent, so one night, after too much wine, we made a pact. We're both terrible at relationships. She said, but we're good at other stuff. What other stuff? You know, physical stuff. We've always had chemistry. Chemistry is not a sufficient basis for Cole. I'm proposing a friends with benefits arrangement. No strings. No drama. No feelings. Just two friends who occasionally sleep together. I considered the proposal. I weighed the variables. The potential risks included damage to our friendship, emotional complications, awkwardness. The potential benefits included physical satisfaction, convenience, continued friendship. I calculated the probability of success at approximately 62%. I'll need a contract. A what? A written agreement. Clearly defined terms. Boundaries. Exit strategy. You want a contract for sex? I want clarity. Clarity reduces risk. She stared at me for a moment, then burst out laughing. Fine. Write your contract. But I'm adding a clause about pizza. If we do this, you're buying pizza after. The contract was drafted on a legal pad in my kitchen. It included Section 1. Duration. This arrangement shall continue until either party terminates it with 48 hours notice. Section 2. Exclusivity. Both parties agree to inform the other if they become sexually active with someone else. Section 3. Boundaries. No public displays of affection. No family introductions. No what are we conversations. Section 4. No sleepovers. This was my clause. I thought it would prevent emotional attachment. Section 5. No jealousy. This was also my clause. I was an idiot. Section 6. Pizza. Postcoital pizza is mandatory. This was Ren's clause. We both signed it. I filed it in my desk drawer under personal, confidential, Ren took a photo and posted it on Instagram with the caption, "Just signed a sex contract with my best friend. Adulthood is wild." My mother saw the post. She called me immediately. Cole. What is this sex contract? Is this a new kind of insurance? No. Mom? It's a personal arrangement. With Ren. The girl with the colorful hair. Yes. I always liked her. She's chaotic. But in a good way. When are you bringing her to dinner? Never. There's a clause about family introductions. Section 3. Subsection B. You put your own mother in a contract. It's standard risk management. The arrangement worked surprisingly well. We had a system. She'd text me a pizza emoji when she was coming over. I'd respond with a check mark if I was available. It was efficient, low pressure, and completely devoid of romantic complications. The sex was good. Really good. We knew each other's bodies, each other's rhythms, each other's preferences. We'd been friends for years. There was no awkwardness, no performance anxiety. Just two people who trusted each other completely. Afterward, we'd eat pizza, pepperoni and jalapeno, her choice, and talk about our days. She'd tell me about her design clients, the nightmare ones, who wanted more pop without knowing what pop meant. I'd tell her about the insurance claims I was reviewing, the people who tried to commit fraud by setting their own cars on fire. People actually do that. Statistically, about 3% of all auto claims involve some form of fraud. That's depressing. That's data. The pizza emoji system worked for exactly 2 weeks. Then she started showing up without texting. I was in the neighborhood. You live 20 minutes away. I took a creative detour. Then she started staying for breakfast. Section 4 clearly states no sleepovers. It's not a sleepover if I leave before 8 a.m. It's 8:15. Time is a construct. Cole. Then she started leaving things at my apartment. A toothbrush. She claimed it was for dental emergencies. A change of clothes for creative messes. A pillow. Your pillows are too firm. They're giving me neck problems. Her favorite mug. I can't drink coffee from your boring corporate mugs. Within 3 months, she had effectively moved in. I pointed this out. Ren. Statistical analysis suggests you've been here 23 out of the last 30 nights. That's not moving in. That's extended visitation. That's not a thing. It is now. I'm inventing it. The problem started with the small things. She rearranged my spice rack without asking. Alphabetical order is more efficient. I had them organized by cuisine type. That's also efficient. Your system was wrong. I fixed it. You can't fix a subjective preference. I just did. She started commenting on my clothes. You're wearing that to work. It's a suite. It's professional. It's beige. You look like a sad oatmeal. Beige is neutral. Neutral is safe. Safe is boring. Wear the blue one. It brings out your eyes. I don't need my eyes brought out. I need my quarterly reports to be accurate. She started caring about my well-being in ways that felt suspiciously like girlfriend behavior. She brought me soup when I was sick. She reminded me to eat lunch. She texted me during the day just to say, "Thinking of you." I texted back, "Is this a pizza emoji situation or a feeling situation?" She replied, "Can't it be both?" I replied. Section 3. Subsection C clearly states no "what are we" conversations. She replied, "I know what the contract says. I'm asking what you say." I didn't answer, because the truth was I didn't know. The contract was supposed to prevent this. The contract was supposed to keep things clear. But feelings, it turns out, don't care about contracts. It was a Thursday evening. My company was hosting a networking event, cocktails. Canapés. The usual corporate theater. I invited Ren as my +1 because the invitation said I could bring a guest. I didn't think about what it meant. She showed up in a dark green dress that made her look like she'd stepped out of a painting. Her hair was down. Her makeup was subtle. And she was wearing heels that made her almost my height. You look different. Different good or different bad. Different, unexpected. I clean up nice when I want to. You always look nice. This is just more formal. It's a corporate event. I'm being corporate. She took my arm, and we walked in together. I introduced her to my colleagues as my friend Ren. She didn't correct me. But her grip on my arm tightened slightly. The evening was going smoothly until Tessa arrived. Tessa was an analyst from the Boston office. Smart. Ambitious. And very interested in me. She'd been sending me signals for months. I'd been ignoring them. But tonight she was persistent. Cole? I've been looking for you all evening. She touched my arm. Leaned in close. We should grab coffee sometime. Talk about the Henderson account. The Henderson account is stable. There's nothing to discuss. Then we can talk about other things. She smiled. It was a calculated smile. I recognized it. I'd used similar smiles in negotiations. Ren appeared beside me. She didn't say anything. Just stood there holding a glass of wine. Her expression completely neutral. Too neutral. I'm Ren, she said. Cole's friend. Oh. Hi. I'm Tessa. Cole and I work together. We've been meaning to catch up outside the office. Have you? Yes. He's so hard to pin down. Always working. Always busy. He's very dedicated to his job. Ren said. And to his pizza. And to his sleep schedule. He doesn't have much time for extra activities. Tessa blinked. I coughed. Ren smiled. A sharp, polite smile that didn't reach her eyes. We left the event early. Ren was silent. The entire drive home. I knew better than to fill the silence with small talk. When we got to my apartment, she walked in, set down her bag, and turned to face me. Her expression was no longer neutral. Are you sleeping with her? No. Absolutely not. Are you going to? No. I have no interest in Tessa. She's a colleague. That's all. She was touching your arm. I noticed. She was looking at you like you were a dessert. I also noticed. Ren crossed her arms. I don't like it. Section 5. No jealousy. We both agreed. I know what the contract says. Cole? I helped you write it. But I didn't think. She stopped. Her voice catching. I didn't think it would feel like this. Like what? Like I'm watching someone try to take something that's mine. I stared at her. Ren. I'm not yours. We're not. We have an arrangement. That's all. I know. Her voice was quieter now. I know what the arrangement is. I know what I agreed to. But I can't. I can't turn off how I feel. How do you feel? I feel like I'm in love with you. And I have been for months. And I've been trying to ignore it because the contract said I wasn't supposed to. But I can't ignore it anymore. She was crying now. Ren never cried. She was the toughest person I knew. Seeing her like this was like watching a building collapse. I love you, she said. And I know that's not what we agreed to. And I know it might ruin everything. But I can't keep pretending I don't. I didn't respond. I couldn't. My brain was still processing the data. The variables had changed. The risk calculation was completely different now. She took my silence as rejection. Okay, she whispered. Okay. I'll go. She turned toward the door. Wait. She stopped. I love you. Too. She turned back. Her eyes were wide. Disbelieving. What? I love you. I've loved you since you rearranged my spice rack. Probably before that, I just didn't know how to say it. I've spent my entire career calculating risks, and this, you, felt like the biggest risk of all. But I don't care. I don't care about the contract. I don't care about the probability of failure. I just care about you. She stared at me for a long moment. Then she laughed. A wet, shaky laugh. You love me. Yes? You love me, even though I violated Section 4 repeatedly. You violated every section of that contract. It's null and void. Does that mean we're starting a new one? No. No more contracts. No more clauses. Just us. She kissed me. It was different from every other kiss we'd shared. Not just physical, something deeper. The next morning, she found the document on my desk. I'd been working on it for weeks. A full SWOT analysis of our relationship. Strengths, mutual respect, shared history, physical chemistry, complementary personality traits, weaknesses, fear of commitment, both parties, history of failed relationships, both parties, tendency to overanalyze, to me, opportunities, long-term partnership, emotional fulfillment, someone to split rent with, threats potential for heartbreak, awkwardness, if things end badly, my mother's inevitable involvement. Ren held it up. You made a SWOT analysis of our relationship. I'm a risk manager. I analyze things. You wrote, someone to split rent with, under opportunities. It's a legitimate financial consideration. This is the least romantic thing I've ever seen. And also the most romantic. That's contradictory. That's us. She set down the paper. What's the conclusion? The conclusion is that the benefits outweigh the risks significantly by a margin of approximately 3-to-1. Approximately. Emotions are hard to quantify. But you tried. I always try. She kissed me. I love your stupid analytical brain. I love your chaotic, creative brain. We're a good team. Statistically speaking, yes. Our best friend Jake was the first to find out. He'd been watching us dance around each other for months. When we told him, he didn't even look surprised. Finally, he said, I've been waiting for this since the contract. I knew the contract was a bad idea. You said the contract was genius. I was lying. I was trying to be supportive. It was a terrible idea. You can't regulate feelings with paperwork. That's literally what I do for a living. And yet, here we are. Jake raised his glass. To Cole and Ren, the only couple I know who needed a legal document to realize they were in love. May your future be contract-free and full of pizza. My mother was next. I called her the following Sunday. Mom? Ren and I are together. Romantically. Officially. I know. How do you know? I saw an Instagram post. Also, Ren called me last week. We had a very nice conversation about your childhood. Did you really try to calculate the probability of Santa Claus existing? I was 8. The math was sound. The math was adorable. When are you bringing her to dinner? Soon. Good. I'll make lasagna. She said she likes lasagna. Ren's reaction when I told her, your mom already knew. I called her for advice. She said I should be patient and that you'd come around eventually. My mother is very wise. Your mother is a co-conspirator. 2 years later, I took her back to the place where we'd signed the contract. My kitchen table. The legal pad was still in the drawer. I'd kept it. Remember this? The contract. Of course, I remember. Section 4 was your worst idea. Agreed. I'm proposing a new contract. I pulled out a ring. A simple band with a small emerald. Her favorite color, Ren. You violated every rule I've ever made. You've rearranged my kitchen. invaded my personal space, and made me feel things I didn't think I was capable of feeling. You're the biggest risk I've ever taken. And the best one, will you marry me? She stared at the ring. Then at me. You're proposing with a contract metaphor. It's thematically appropriate. You're insane. Is that a yes? It's a yes. You ridiculous. Overanalyzing, risk-calculating disaster of a man. She kissed me. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I calculated the probability of our happiness at approximately 100%. Be me. Cole, 33. Still a risk manager. Still at Aegis. Still married to the woman who broke every rule I ever made. We have a daughter named Ivy. She's 2 years old. She has Ren's chaotic energy and my analytical stare. She already asks why approximately 40 times a day. Ren says it's genetic. I say it's payback. The old contract is framed and hanging in our kitchen. Guests always ask about it. Ren tells them, it's the worst legal document ever written. But it brought us together. Last night, we were on the couch. Ivy asleep upstairs. Ren's head on my shoulder. Cole? Yeah. Remember when you said the risk-to-reward ratio of relationships was unacceptable? Vividly. What changed? I recalculated. New data became available. What data? You were the data. She kissed me. I love you. You ridiculous number cruncher. I love you. 2. You? Contract-violating chaos agent. I never violated the contract. I creatively reinterpreted it. That's the same thing. It's absolutely not.